Welcome back to Radically Rational Radio. In this episode, we are going to talk about the importance of cis female sports staying that way. Let's jump into it.
Congressman, let me switch gears and ask you about this other veto that the White House is planning. They said that they're planning to veto the GOP's Protecting Women's Sports Act if it passes both the House and Senate. The White House says it discriminates against transgender students. They write, quote, politicians should not dictate a one-size-fits-all requirement that forces coaches to remove kids from their team. So, look, you have this bill, and the White House says protecting women in sports is not going to fly.
That is the exact purpose of Title IX. Look, my daughter went to state as a cross-country athlete in high school. She ran in college. She wouldn't have even been on a varsity team for most boys. That's what's going to happen is you'll have one biological. Look, there really are XY people and XX people. Maybe we can define sports that way based on chromosomes instead of words like gender. They really mean cross-sex. They don't mean some sort of spectrum. It's really binary. You're either an XY person or an XX person. Physiologically, the differences in sport are amazing. That's why we created women's sports, and we need to protect the women who deserve to be able to compete and win. There are a lot of women like J.K. Rowling, like Martina Navratilova, who are far left on lots of issues, but they recognize, the distinction when it comes to women's sports. But that doesn't entitle you to win the women's category of the New York Marathon, or it shouldn't anyway.
Yeah.
I completely agree with Warren Davidson. Take a moment and Google every college and the sports that they support. You will notice that there are more male sports than female, and in many colleges there will be female sports that are not even there. The reason that they'll state is always that there isn't enough women or there isn't enough money for us to provide this at our school. At its core, that's just kind of the free market working. Competition is incredibly valuable for both boys and girls. It's not difficult to see an argument why we need female divisions for sports. It gives them a level playing field where they can focus on a goal, learn the importance of winning and losing, and all the other benefits that come with sport and competition. A loud minority on the left are screaming, saying that if we don't let men who feel like women play with women, that is an affront to women. That's just not true. The idea of a female playing on a male's team in any contact sport is just vile to a male. We don't want to hurt women. That's not interesting to us, not even in sport. Yet we have born men with body dysmorphia issues, and now they want to join women's sports. Absolutely not. Let them play with the guys. And for all the confused women that also think that they're boys, let them also play with the boys. You're probably going to see that there's only 3 real outcomes here. And when you look at them, a couple of them are viable, and one seems to make the most sense right now. The first answer, let biological men play in women's sports. And in every example we have, they have absolutely destroyed the record of what women have accomplished. Number 2, the one that seems to make most sense, however, because there are so few actual transgender people, that the likelihood of actually creating any level of trans league is laughable. Have a trans league. If all of these people truly believe that they are different and they want to use identification as the standard, do what women did. Go make it happen on your own. Don't go take someone else's shit. I think it's pretty clear that number 2 is never going to happen. Most of these people already feel like they're being attacked with no real evidence. And for whatever reason, that seems to give them justification to take what's not theirs. If you're actually claiming to be something different, awesome. You are a new thing. Go make your thing. Male sports, female sports. I'm sure you guys will have a fun name for whatever you want to call your league. You don't just get to feel girly and beat up women. Now you're probably thinking, wow, I'm only addressing men who want to become women. What a sexist male white pig I am for not even considering it. So let's talk about women who feel like they are men. To me, option 3 seems most sensible and the way we should move forward until this community can create option 2. We have women's sports, and by that I mean XX chromosome and identify as women. Female sports. That's easy. Everyone else, go play with the boys. If you've got an XY and you feel like a girl, play with the boys. If you've got an XX and you feel like a boy, play with the boys. And if you have an XX chromosome and you feel like a boy, you play with the boys. It's that simple. Women will play with women, men will play with men, and everyone else who wants to play, go play with the men. And if your argument is it's not fair, good. That's the argument for women. Period. Go make your own league if you want it to be fair. I hope you learned something. I'm Tristan with Radically Rational Radio. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Stay resilient.